This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Welcome, listeners, to show 158, Aussie Mac Zone, proudly presented by athwebhosting.com.au. Australian servers, affordable competitive plans, domain registration, free setup, instant activation, cPanel, which I love, starting at $5.95 per month when paid annually. And I'm lucky enough to have my friend Garth.
Michael, how are you?
Fantastic, mate. Isn't it good to be here?
You're coming down from your high?
Yeah, I'm still there. Still there.
Still there. Beautiful.
Yeah, so, where are we at?
Where are we at? So, I don't know, we haven't talked about what we're actually going to talk about, and I haven't checked the notes. So,
I don't have
but
any
I think
notes.
there was some kind of, I think there was some kind of event that happened just recently.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing pretty much anyone who is listening to this has already seen all the news about it, have already, but we'll cover it, I guess, real quick, and just go into some thoughts and feelings about some of the stuff that we've heard and so forth. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm ready. So, there was a couple of nice little settings there just to start. They had the carpool karaoke, with them singing "Sweet Home Alabama" for Tim's home state. I thought 170 million subscribers, that was pretty good for Apple Music. So,
hang on, what? 170?
17 million, sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking, geez, they've done well in the last week or so.
Hey, new phone,
I missed
new
that
numbers. 17 million. Well, even that's
17 million. So we're up a couple of million from the last time they let those numbers drop. And, yeah.
Yeah. So the App Store, 140 billion downloads. The last 2 months saw 100% growth year on year. And the last quarter, as much revenue as the largest competitor. So gaming's biggest and most popular. And Super Mario, that was the biggest thing I think that nearly everybody's commented about.
Well, in that space for sure, yeah. What's the guy's name who came out? I was listening with a couple of friends on, on Zello, an app called Zello, basically. Just hanging out, listening to the thing, and throwing in a 2 cents worth here and there. And a couple of the guys who were into gaming is just like, "Oh my god, this guy is a superstar!" Like I didn't know who the heck he was, and they were just sort of blown away that they, that he was on stage. So.
Yes, yeah. So, after them saying that they'd never go to another platform, they're here.
Finally, yeah. And it seems Apple have an exclusive on this for a little while. We don't know how long yet, or have you heard?
No, I haven't heard. No.
Yeah. So no sort of bugging you type purchases with the app. It'll be a download it for free. Yeah, you wanna get the full thing? Cool. One-off payment, done.
Yes,
that sounds like so. They're doing it the right way there.
The only annoying purchase will be the Super Mario stickers for messages for iOS.
Yes,
10.
well, Is it just you? Is it just me, or is everybody putting a sticker pack together? Like every podcast I hear, they're all going, "Oh, I'm just working on my artwork for my sticker pack." It's just like 10 minutes, and we'll whip out the back, and we'll put together a sticker pack for you. And I guess while we're talking about gaming, that was another another sort of, I know, sorry, I've gone a bit out of order here probably.
No, there is no order.
Pokemon Go to the Apple Watch, obviously. That was another sort of little gaming intermission from another company. And I think the only other company we had on stage was Nike. It's funny, with a lot of the keynotes lately, they've had, a couple of other companies up on stage with them, haven't they?
Yes, yeah, and and the diversity of the presenters too. That was good.
Yeah. A thing I guess we've heard a lot mentioned. Once again going right out of order here, but we're talking about diversity in the pictures as well. Not something I noticed, because I can't see them. But the fact that, there was no comment made of it or anything like that. Just the fact that, you've got all sorts of skin colors in the photography examples.
Yeah.
And obviously they're making sure that, that the, image processing is working really well for anybody, not just the standard Caucasians that all the film always used to be tuned for. So that was a nice,
it's interesting, isn't it?
thing that I've heard mentioned. Yeah. Do you want to take us back a little bit more on topic though? Well, on track in terms of the timeline. So
new product. Apple Watch Series 1 and 2.
New products. Yeah, I was listening to it there and going, come on, give me some hardware. Stop talking about all this software. Give me some hardware. And what a nice update, hey?
Yes. Yeah, I just wish I could. Well, I don't know whether it's enough to convert me yet. I'm seriously waiting till I can get my WatchOS 3 running on my original watch.
Yep.
I don't do enough swimming or enough cycling or enough running. And that's also why I probably don't need one yet. So, yeah.
I'm more... Yeah, you're right. There's two things for me. How long is it going to be before the next one? If it's going to be next year, 12 months, then... Yeah, just wait.
Yeah.
But if they're going to do the whole 18 months, maybe 2 years, then I'll be really by that stage wishing that I had got one now. You know what I mean? The other thing is the processor speed. Now, all along, that's the one thing I've complained about with the Apple Watch. That's the only downside for me has been the lagginess.
But is that the processor or the talking? Like talking to your phone, do you think?
No, it's the processor. It's the whole thing, Maybe it's made worse by the fact that I run VoiceOver on it, so there's an extra layer of software running in there. So maybe I notice it more than it would be noticed without it running. But the lagginess in the interface has been the biggest deficit for this watch for me. And so having the Series 1 there, where, okay, it's same hardware, as I've already got, but no GPS because I don't care anyway.
Yeah.
Swimming, I wouldn't mind having I'm already pretty comfortable wearing my watch in the water, in the rain, having a shower, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But to be able to go swimming in the ocean, not worry about it, that sort of stuff, that would be nice. I currently wouldn't take this one into salt water, but freshwater, I don't care.
Yeah.
So the one big thing though, $100 cheaper, or in Australian dosh, $130 cheaper, and you get the faster processor. So I think it's a really nice thing to see that. We're keeping around the existing watch, but we're making it cheaper, and we're still upgrading the internals.
Yes.
So I think that was a strong sort of play, or a customer friendly play, if you like.
And it was a nice little. The little demonstration of how the speaker in Series 2 ejects the water, that was fairly clever.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? You almost want to get one just to have a go at that, right?
Yeah, just to watch
so
it go.
Get out, and get out of the swimming pool, and when you finished so while you're swimming, the UI locks down entirely. You can't do anything with your watch basically.
Yeah.
And you signal to the watch that you're finished swimming, and it should get rid of the water by twisting the digital crown there.
Yeah.
And at that point, it'll spit it out and wake up for you. And that is the one negative for me. Once again, this is be quiet. This is probably the speaker. You get it wet, and the speaker does sound, and as it's like for me, that because the speaker is the main interface for me, I'm not seeing the screen. It's all about the speaker. So I need to be able to hear it. So that's another reason why maybe I do need to get a new watch.
Oh yes. Oh.
Am I selling it? No, really? Okay.
Well, at least you can say to your wife, I don't want to buy the gold watch. I don't want that watch anymore.
No.
I'll settle for a white ceramic one. I won't go for gold.
A white one will do. Yeah. No, I think if I was going to be getting a watch, actually, now I probably would be getting one for her. Getting a 38 and getting one for her, but that'd be a case of having to talk her into it, which might be even still an issue at this point.
So you wouldn't be getting the Nike one, I'm guessing?
No. I don't know. There's not too many negatives about getting the Nike one, really. If you're getting a sport aluminium,
yeah,
you're getting a different band that you can't get any other way. You're getting different watch faces that you can't get any other way, but you can still put whatever band you like on it, and you still can. I'm sure you can still use the other watch faces. So, to me, it's probably not a bad idea just to. You're not paying a premium for it. It's the same price.
Yeah, and the Nike people are probably they're sort of in the same category as Apple people, where they'll actually line up for a pair of shoes that comes out the next morning or midnight or whatever. The same as we line up for a phone, you know. So, and Nike and Apple have been associated for a long time now, haven't they? Like with that little tag and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tim Cook's on the board or something, I believe, as well.
Yeah. So.
I guess that's one thing you will pay for, the additional payment in having to wait longer to get it, because that watch is not out until a little bit later, I believe.
Yeah. So, what else?
Anything else? Well, I guess anything else about the watch before we move on to some of the other product? Well,
no, like,
phone, I guess.
They haven't given us a release date for the watchOS 3 yet, so that I'm aware of.
Oh, I thought it was the same. Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm not sure on that one. I
haven't heard a specific date. No.
I thought they had. So what is it we're getting on tomorrow? I think some of it's...
iOS 10
some of it was
and Sierra.
finalising on the 13th.
Isn't it iOS 10 and Sierra?
I thought it was... Here we go. We've done our research well. I thought it was 10 in the watch, and Sierra was a week or so later.
Okay, I'm not sure.
But I might be completely wrong about that. I haven't really... Yeah.
I put Sierra... well, I'll talk about that later. But I have put Sierra on mine already now because I've got a special invite because I was an iOS 10 beta tester, so I used my invite. But I did find a challenge with it. A simple one, but...
All right, well, we'll cover that, I guess.
Yeah. Anything else on the watch?
The watches? No, I just was as I said, it's sort of like the phones. You know, if you've got the current, is it enough to upgrade to the next one? Well, probably not. But it's for new people coming in, and I think they've done really customer friendly stuff. Like I said, in terms of giving you a cheaper watch that has the upgraded in it still. So I think that was really good.
A better value watch, isn't it?
Yes.
Not cheaper.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's call a horse a horse. Spade, a horse, a spaded horse, a colt. It's cheaper and it's better. So it's better value and cheaper. Anyway.
So what about we've got iOS 10. You got HomeKit. And they'll have 100 plus products coming to market by this year. So I'm guessing by Christmas time, because there's still definitely nowhere near 100 products to market, unless they're counting each globe.
Well, yeah. We've sold 76 now, 77, 78. We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
No, I thought there would. I guess I haven't really been looking, but I thought there would have been heaps of little products here, there, and everywhere. But not so much, apparently, hey?
Well, they're saying that a lot of the little startup companies can't afford to pay the HomeKit premium, so they're just not, you can buy a Wi-Fi globe, but it's not HomeKit compatible because they're not able or prepared to pay the HomeKit tax.
Now, the HomeKit tax, is that how much of that is the paperwork involved in the registration process? How much in that is due to the fact that we need to have these more expensive chips that are able to do the kind of encryption that Apple
I think that's the one. It's the more expensive chips for security. Yeah, which long term you'd think was a better bet, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. But if you've got this budget and you want to get something to market, then you're going to make the
call and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. maybe Nest compatible as opposed to HomeKit compatible or whatever. So
whatever I don't know the other particular platforms that are there, but yeah. And I think in the US market, where probably a lot of this is being driven, Amazon has such a stronger, with the Amazon Alexa.
Yeah.
And so many of them are able to be controlled with that. So, Apple are really at risk of losing this market, I think, if they don't get some buy-in pretty soon.
So, 100 products. We'll see what happens for Christmas, eh?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, messages. They talked about messages. iPhone 7, the best we've ever created. Johnny Ive was back with his video.
Yep.
The antenna disappearing. The high gloss black, and then half an hour after it's released, there's an addition to the description site talking about having to put it in a case because it'll show micro scratches.
And good, someone who actually said it properly. Every blog tech thing I've heard or anyone talking about it, it will scratch. Unlike the other ones. And no, it's not that it's going to scratch, it'll show the scratches. And now I know that's, they all have the same micro, now I can't even say the word. It's just that you're going to notice them more on this glossy black.
Yeah.
I know that might be a stupid distinction to make, but I think it's...
and I'm confused because I personally would think if you're putting it in a case, the dirt and dust that gathers in a case would create more micro scratches. So I'm a bit confused there.
I think basically, I don't think you're going to have this phone and not have it all scratched to buggery. That is just accept it. You've got the nice, pretty, glossy black phone.
Yeah.
But it is going to be covered in little micro scratches, and that's just the way it is.
Well, just like
until they bring out the porcelain phone in a couple of years' time, porcelain black phone.
Yeah.
After we've done the porcelain black watch, then maybe we'll be able to have have a phone.
Yeah, I was just you got to remember the iPhone 3, the original iPhone. Anyone that actually had one of those, the 3 with the black plastic. That's the sort of micro scratches you're going to get, the same as you had in the black plastic, realistically. Even less, maybe, but, from your keys in your pocket and things like that. So
it's got to be better, but, yeah.
Yeah. So what about the home button?
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Yeah?
I don't. It's
until we use it, we don't know, do we? That's the challenge.
Yeah. It's, to me, it doesn't bother me one way or the other. If that's how you want to do it, that's fine. That's good. Helps with the waterproofing.
Yes.
It's probably nice in terms of you can then control how much pressure you need to put on that button. Looking down the track, maybe there's different things you can do with how much pressure you put on there. You can have different actions depending on, how much pressure you place on the home button. Different things like that it opens up, different possibilities are interesting. As it stands at the moment, just having, this is how we've replaced it. To me, it's a neither here nor there kind of feature, like the Force Touch on the track pads of the Macs that have that.
Until it gets fully integrated and all the app developers get involved.
Yeah, that's right. Until Apple and until Apple lets them, and until Apple has got some use cases and to work at how this is going to be used.
Mm-hmm.
And on that sort of topic, I think the other thing we've seen with iOS 10, and I don't know, you don't have, you're running a 6 at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, 6 Plus.
6 Plus, so you don't have the Force Touch on those ones, do you?
No,
okay. So I think one of the big things I've seen with iOS 10 is an incredible increase in the usefulness, I guess, or the areas you can use Force Touch, and you just find, I find that I'm using it more than I ever did before.
Yeah.
And I think that's along the same lines of as I'm talking with the home button here. It's just the fact that technology has matured, and the uses for it have matured, and the Apple, we're seeing how people want to use it, it's taken that whole year to sort of work out, okay, what does it mean to have this capability? How do we actually get some value out of it?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So I think the same sort of thing will be with the home button there.
Yeah, so we've got it was water and dust resistant, all like to IP67, so that's excellent.
Absolutely. That's
and they're admitting it now
biggest
too.
purchasing features. Yeah. I think that means a lot more to me than the home button, for example. You know what I mean? That's a really good feature.
And one of the podcasts that we listened to, it was saying that the IP standards, the 6 is as far as it goes, so that's 6 out of 6 for dust. So the first number's the dust and the second number's water.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so...
And the 7, yeah, the 7 is the same as the watch, the current, well, the old version of the Apple Watch. That's a IPX7, and the X standing for, well, we haven't rated it for dust. We've just rated it for liquid. And that's your 1 meter for 30 minutes thing.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, you know, they're not saying go for a swim with it, but hey, if you drop it in the water, it's probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
Once you wash the other stuff that was in the water off it.
Yeah. So then we've got the camera. All the cameras are image stabilized now. You've got a 6-element lens, the f1.8's better aperture, 60% faster, flashes more light, 12 megapixel, 7 megapixel front-facing camera for better selfies, new signal processors, and 100 billion operations in 25 milliseconds when it takes a photo.
That's insane, isn't it?
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. 10 by zoom using hardware and software. So there's
10,
a list.
The 10 zoom.
Yeah.
So let's say, you know, two optical zooms, either, you know, the standard
1 or 2. Yeah.
zoom
that was a good way of doing it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I was interested to see, I guess we all knew, you know, there's a second camera coming on the bigger phone, but how were they going to use it? Were they going to be doing it's a black and white one so that it really improves low light, or, you know, how are they going to be utilizing that second camera? And so just to have it as a double optical zoom is an interesting one.
Yeah.
1.8, that's a major improvement too on the aperture there.
Yeah.
Is it, or this, you know, it's a lot more light that I can let into that standard zoom lens. I think the 2 times optical zoom is back up around your 2.8 or whatever, but the 1.8 on that one is pretty cool. And this is what brings me to a bit of a rant. I started listening to Aussie Tech Hits.
Hang on. We'll get the music ready.
Yep. Where's my soapbox? Hang on. Where's my soapbox? I lost it. So I'll have to keep it short. But there was about, I don't know how long they kept on going, because I think I just about had to turn it off. Rabbiting on about how Apple is so all the normal sorts of things for saying that, you know, it's as good as a DSLR, and they're stupid for saying that kind of thing. And, you know, well, the thing is, I think the actual quote was, we are not saying you need to throw away your DSL, you should throw away your DSLRs and this is going to replace it. That was how they sold it. You know, they sold it by saying, this is not a DSLR. This won't replace your DSLRs. They were the words. And the whole talk was about how Apple was so stupid for thinking that they could replace their DSLRs. It was just like, why are you doing this? Did you even watch the event? Do you have any idea what you're talking about? Or you're just ranting for the sake of... Eric is always like, oh, you know, I love Apple products. I just want to be objective. You're less objective than me. I'm the fanboy. So anyway, that was my little brief rant. It's like,
and don't forget, that's Eric at aussietechheads.com.au,
yes, Eric
that you can just...
aussietechheads.com.au for any feedback.
Get into him as much as you like.
Seriously, come on. There's no point. It's like, you know, oh, I can't even think of a good analogy right now. I'm so annoyed. It's like
calm.
rousing on my son for getting a D when he got an A. You know, it's like, It's just stupid. Like, anyway.
Hang on, the breathe app will come up in a minute on your.
Yes, it just about. I think it did about. Actually, if I check my notifications, I think I got one of those a few seconds ago.
Oh, there you go.
No, I don't. It doesn't really bother me. It's just a bit of fun.
So we got. It was interesting. They talked a lot about the new portrait mode with this bokeh and the shadow depth of field, and but it's not till it'll be an update for the iPhone 7 Plus later this year. They're not.
Yeah,
it's not ready.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, there's a few things in the announcement that are a little bit like that, isn't there? Like the Nike watch not coming for a little while, the AirPods that we'll get to shortly not coming for a bit, and this one not coming in the phone. But this one is an actual feature of that camera. One of the major selling points for the camera, and it's not going to be there straight away. So it's a little interesting. I guess it really is just a difficult effect to get right, and they wanted to let people know it was coming. But it's just
and also maybe there is a lot more challenges on skin tone, and they're trying to make sure that happens. Yeah, and I have no idea. I'm just saying maybe there is, and they don't want to. They've just got points for doing the right thing, and then appear not to doing the right thing straight away would be terrible. I think so that maybe they're doubling down.
Yeah, I have no idea. The thing that strikes me is how much depth sense could it get when those cameras are so close together anyway? The 3D depth information must be fairly limited that they're getting from sensors that are so close together. But still, it's an interesting effect. Note that they've specifically put it for portrait, so it's meant to be used with people. So it's not really like a shallow depth of field in terms of you can choose where you want that shallow depth of field and use it on any kind of object.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's not going to work so well on other things. It's really using that face recognition as the basis of how to generate the bokeh effect and the bokeh, whatever you call it, I don't know. The blurry background effect, let's call it that. So it's using the face recognition more, I think, than it will be using the actual 3D data that it can suck out of those two cameras. But I wouldn't have a clue, obviously. I'm just guessing.
Like this is Andy keeps saying, as much data as you can get always helps in the long run, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The more you can get in there, the better. Yeah.
So we've also got a new Retina HD display, 25% brighter. That new ND color gamut. The 3D touch.
Yeah. Home button,
yeah. And then the big challenge came, didn't it? The audio. So stereo speakers, top and bottom, or left and right if you're watching a show.
If you're watching something,
generally. Yeah. Twice the volume of the iPhone 6. I think that's a pretty big important call, really.
That's a major increase,
Yeah. So there's 900 million Lightning devices around. I don't know where they get that from.
No, I don't either.
Why did they move? Courage. The space and vision for audio. Yeah, go. Yeah.
I think it probably took courage, or it took arrogance, or it took. I don't know. To me personally, I don't care too much one way or the other. As long as there's good solutions for charging and listening at the same time, that's where it impacts me.
Yeah.
I think, as we were talking about this before it happened, the fact that I always said, there's going to be a pair of Lightning headphones in there. What I didn't expect to see was the adapter as well. So to put both in there, I think they're really trying to say, yeah, we know this is a problem. Here's all the stuff that will make you feel okay about it. But we know it's going to be hard for you to get used to, but just give us a while and you'll be fine. So I was really quite impressed that you got both the updated earpods as well as an adapter for older 3.5 mil.
Yeah.
And the one other thing there as well, they made that adapter $9 or $12 in Australia.
Yeah.
So
it's not not $30 what we used to.
Oh, it's completely I was completely expecting to get a set of Lightning earpods in your phone like you always have.
Yep.
And that's that. Oh, and here we do make this $29 dongle that we're making, a heap of profit on as well, if you must. But no, they're making it $12 and they're putting it in the box, putting one in the box. So I think they've made the bitterness of the pill as sweet as they can, I think, if you know what I mean.
And do you think being only a $10 unit, that I'm assuming it's got a digital audio converter inside it.
Has to.
That would be, if they could have had a $20 version, it would have been a lot better sound, or do we think it probably didn't?
I don't think so, because I think for earpods or something like that, your limiting factor is going to be the earbuds, the speakers in the earbuds themselves.
Yeah.
Any DAC, the cost of that kind of electronics now has come down so much that any DAC, the DAC will be fine in the context of a set of headphones. If you've got your high-end headphones, maybe, you're going to want a better Lightning dongle. I don't know. But for normal listening, for the person who's upset that their $5 headphones that they got from the corner store because their last lot broke, for that market, the $9 dongle will be more than enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think anyone who was getting really expensive headphones are probably going to find there are other solutions for that as well, for that part of it.
And what about so they haven't said, but being the same shape for the AirPods as opposed to the EarPods, do you think they got the same speaker in them, or do you think they've got different speaker because they've got the infrared sensors? Or
I'm hoping they're a little bit better. So that's the other hardware, other product, other physical thing that we saw at the announcement was these AirPods, which are obviously a Bluetooth Plus, let's say, set of basically, well, they're like like your AirPods
that you get
but
now.
With no cord.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully the sound is a little bit better. I've always thought these AirPods, for the price, they're not too bad. But when you're paying significantly more, you'd hope the sound is a little bit better, and I guess we'll have to wait until October or whenever they come out, and people have got some time to hear them outside of the environment of that showroom.
Yeah.
Because I think it was, probably really noisy and people wouldn't really be able to tell one way or the other in that kind of environment how good they were. But they're still, little tiny headphones.
And I didn't quite pick up whether they've both got microphones or only one's got a microphone. I didn't quite pick that up either.
Well, beam forming microphones, I think I heard mentioned, so I took it that there was one in each one.
Yeah.
And that's how...
Sorry. Yeah.
You go. Yeah, and that's how it was able to better focus in on your voice if you were using it.
Yeah.
Along with the vibration sensors.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like they talked about, you get 5 hours. So if you were, that means you can use one in one ear, and then when it goes flat, you can use the other one and charge one at a time, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And it was a clever, the box that they go into, that was very clever. The way you just drop them in and charge it. It's got its own little battery pack. I thought that was...
So it's another 24 hours of usage
light.
there.
Yeah. Lightning, so you don't need another cable.
Yep.
And you can't plug it into your phone, so it may as well be plugged into that battery box.
Well, you will be able to plug it into the phone because you'll have earpods. You don't need to plug any audio in there.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. Yes.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, 15 minutes in the little box, and you've got 3 hours further use.
Yeah.
So 5 hours total, but it only takes 15 minutes to charge them up, enough for 3 hours.
Yeah, so you can just drop them in while you're at lunch and keep listening to them at work.
Yeah,
Really?
I think this is probably the product that I'll be most likely to buy, I think. It is also the cheapest one that was announced. But
Yeah. So it's interesting that the Beats is also releasing 3 sets of headphones, which are taking advantage of the new W1 chip, Apple's new chip, which the Apple's headphones don't need the W1 chip because they work way back to I can't remember whether it's 5 or 5S now. It is on the Aussie Max own group, but yeah.
What are you saying? The Apple?
The AirPods,
Yes,
work way back to the 5 or 5S, one or the other.
they still use the W1 chip though.
I thought the W1 chip was a new chip.
For the AirPods, yeah.
No, but new in the iPhone 7.
No, it's in the headphone.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
So the W1 chip is the new wireless chip that goes in the actual AirPod.
Oh, in the device. There you go. See, I was assuming it was in the phone. So
no,
well done.
So that same W1 chip is going in the headphones as well, in the Beats headphones.
Beats ones as well.
So yeah, and it's that chip that gives it. It is still just using Bluetooth, but obviously just a subset of Bluetooth, their own tweaked version of Bluetooth that doesn't have, hopefully, the same kind of issues that you have normally with Bluetooth.
Yeah. Well, if you only want it to do one thing, specifically one thing.
Correct. You optimize for that rather than trying to. It's the old Windows versus Apple debate all along. You don't have to have a million drivers to do everything because you know what you want to do. This is the hardware it's going to be working on. This is what it's going to be doing.
Yep.
So no, the W1 chip is the new chip in there, and some of the nice features that come with it, if people haven't heard, is that apparently really easy to pair, as in pull the headphone out of the jack right near your phone and you've paired, and it will then link up to your iCloud account, and that pairing will move across between your phone, your watch, your Mac, probably much in the same way as Wi-Fi passwords do in keychain or whatever. That sort of thing. So having your headphones that automatically things like if you've got one in and one out, it will switch it over to mono, so you're hearing everything through that one. Put the other one in and it will automatically sense that it's in your ear and take it back to stereo. Stop using your phone and pick up your Mac, it'll switch over to your Mac automatically and let you hear the audio from there. Same with the watch. So, if you've got music on your watch and you do want to go for that run, especially if you've got one of the new Series 2 watches with the GPS built in, your earpods will follow you along, automatically switching between devices, whatever you're using and so forth. Yeah. So lots of really nice little convenience features, I guess.
As long as they stay in, that's the only real...
Yeah. These work wonderfully. They fit my ears perfectly. They work really well for me, and I know that's not the case for everybody. The only time they fall out is when you catch the lead on something. For me, so if they're not going to just fall out themselves. Okay. And whenever I hear people say that they're loose, I always wonder if they've got them in the wrong way around. So everyone, you've got to put the bit with the remote on the right-hand side.
Yep.
They fit in easier the other way round, but they will fall out more.
Have
you noticed that? Is that just my ears
on them?
Sorry?
It does have R and L on them.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Sorry. I can't see that. But they sit in easier the other way around, and I think a lot of people I've known people who have always put them in the wrong way around because they thought that's which way they went. Mustn't have noticed the L and R either.
So so the sizes, what do you reckon? About 32, then 128, then 256?
Isn't it hilarious? And actually, I think Eric might have said this as well. What did they do with the 64? Like, why would they get rid of the 64? Like, oh no, seriously? So even when Apple have given you, for the medium price, the mid-range one, same price as it was last time, obviously not in Australia due to exchange rates and all that rubbish, but same price as what you used to get the 64 for, you now get the 128. So they didn't so much get rid of the 64, or they didn't, get rid of the middle price tier. They gave you twice the storage right across the board. So your 16 becomes your 32. Yeah, obviously your 64 becomes 128. And who the hell needs 256? Can you tell me that? Video.
Video people, but also I've got a guy who carries everything, like everything, his music, his family photos, everything that he can get on there. But he works on oil rig.
Okay, oil rig. There you go.
Yeah, yes, he's got internet, but it's as slow as buggery.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
So
that's the person.
That's the person. Yeah. There's not very many of them, but they are there.
No. And you know what? It's surprising to me. I can see now why Apple have held off on getting rid of that 16 gig model for so long. Once you introduce a 32, even now that storage, camera, photos are bigger and so forth. Going from a 16 seemed ridiculous, and you had to go up to a 64 or a 32. Yeah. But when the low entry is 32, maybe that would do, For most of my family, that would probably do. And there wouldn't be much of a compromise in taking that 32, whereas you knew that a 16 gig would be a massive compromise.
Yeah.
So, I think
test,
that's probably why they've held off so long, because, if they'd done that last year, there's no reason to buy. There's no reason to push up from that low price point to the middle price point, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the 32 is the low price point, then that's probably doable for a significant number of people.
Yeah, and you can, for example, I rang up Vodafone and asked them some questions today about the phone and the contracts, etc. And you can actually go to Vodafone's site and pre-order. They won't say they can guarantee to ship it on the 16th, but you can pre-order it.
I would say,
and I know we've had hassles with Apple's delivery point previously.
Sorry.
It's what Apple keep for themselves and what they dish out to the rest of the people.
So we've already had Tim Cook saying that they're not going to release numbers on this weekend because there's no point in terms of it's purely constrained by the amount that they can provide. There's no lack of demand. It's just however many we can get there, that's how many we will sell. And that's the way it's always been. Hopefully, we don't still have blogs saying that Apple are restricting supply to make it look like they're, over demand in high demand.
Yeah.
There's no thankfully any pretense of that anymore. It's it really is however many you can make, that's how many have sold.
Yeah. And just another point about the AirPods, if I may. They're US $139 and Australian $229, which when you actually work it out at about 70 cents in the dollar, and you add tax. You got to remember to add the tax. It works out at about 234 or something. We worked it out, so you're actually getting it cheaper than America.
Yeah, but the phone not so much.
Yeah,
so the phone we're about 12 to 14% up. I heard on saw on one thing.
Yeah, but you're adding the tax in.
Yes.
Like
so on the phones.
But remember all the prices they quote in American dollars don't have tax on them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So no, there was a write-up in the Sydney Morning Herald, I think it was, and they had with tax, so everything taken into account, tax taken into account, the 10% GST plus the exchange rate. On the phones, they were 12 to 14% higher in Australia, but on the AirPods, they were exactly the same price.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a guy in the UK. Same sort of thing there. They're being charged more for the phones, but the AirPods are exactly the same price. The watches in the UK, they're what, $269, let's say, for the cheap one.
Yeah.
US dollars, and they're exactly the same price in pounds in the UK. Now the pound has had a bit of a beating, but
Yeah.
not that much of a beating. So those things are basically the same price in pounds as they are in US dollars. So
All right.
so they are paying a bit of a premium for being away.
Yep.
Yeah. As are we, unfortunately.
So, and that was about it. We had Sia singing at the end. And anything else you can think of that caught you?
No, well, here's the question. Now, is any of this on the shopping list?
Yes, 7 Plus.
7 Plus is on the shopping list.
Yeah, that's why
Well, you're
I
on
rang
a 6 now.
Vodafone
You're
today.
allowed to. Yeah, you're allowed to upgrade from a 6 to a 7. And tell me, not pricing. What color did you go for?
I haven't ordered yet, but I was thinking black, not jet black. Just
Yeah.
black or silver. Depends what they could guarantee the fastest delivery, basically.
Yeah. Good luck. So early January, we'll see your review.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll be getting
When
any of
Samsung
this.
have released 14 phones by then, wouldn't
Yeah, well, that's right. But how many of them will still be working? Is another question. No, well, hopefully you get that order in quickly, because the sooner you get it in, the higher up the list you'll be.
Yes, let's hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything, any other things you can think of about the
No, not
reactions
really.
or the?
Yeah, I think we've covered that. I overall enjoyed the event as usual. Heard someone straight afterwards say, "Oh, I'm not blown away." Oh, really? You're not blown away? I'm sorry, really sorry. I think a lot of people come into these events with the expectations of being completely wowed and blown away, and like they're hearing Steve Jobs introduce the iPhone the very first time around or something every time. That's one other thing I wanted to mention actually.
Yeah.
How much? So, the argument to me for removing the headphone jack has been mostly about the space. That was the amount of space they've reclaimed inside the phone for removing that headphone jack. To me, I was looking at it as a return on investment. If you own a supermarket and you've got all the shelf space, you want to know per square foot exactly how much money that bit of shelf space is earning you, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to keep stuff on the shelf space that isn't really earning you much money, or really not so much earning money, but getting value out of. That's, and for me, you've got this headphone jack here that takes up a huge amount of space and does one thing. It lets analog audio in and out. That's all. You've got this tiny little jack right beside it that can do that and, 1,000 times more. It's no, at some point we had to get rid of this old jack taking up all that space. And what have we got for them removing that? We've got 17% bigger battery, all these improvements. And that's what brings me to what I wanted to say. When that argument was made prior to the phone being released, there was the typical reaction that we get, like, why is Apple obsessed about making things thinner and lighter? And, it's ridiculous. They can't keep doing that. Why is that so important? Just give us a bigger battery, make it bigger. Well, here we are, 6, 6S, 7. The 6S that you've got now is smaller than the 7. The 6S, the 6 that you have now was thinner than the 6S, and the 7 is once again the same size as the 6S. So there's 3 phones in a row where we haven't got thinner and lighter. So can we please just drop this typical thing of everyone bagging Apple for trying to make things light? The Watch Series 2 is slightly bigger than Watch Series 1. It's not an obsession that drives everything. It's just always a balancing act. And if they've been able to make it lighter and smaller and thinner, and still do the features they wanted to do, they've done it. They've got it to a form factor now that they like, and there was no need to make it smaller. and by removing the headphone jack, they reclaimed some space and they gave us 2 hours extra battery life. I think that's an important one to mention. From the 6S to the 7 is an estimated 2 hours increase in battery life. So
that's a big difference. Big difference.
It is,
especially in yes, the 7's the smaller phone, and because you only got an hour life with the Plus.
With the Plus, yeah.
Yeah, but it just shows you how much space is at a premium.
Yeah, and it's all a balancing act. They've got all these features they want to put in there, the haptic engine, all these different things they want to put into the phone,
and make it waterproof. And make it waterproof.
Yep.
Get rid of the headphone jack. That's the first thing you have to do.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and they did. They pointed out very clearly that was an evolutionary phone, not a revolutionary phone. They actually said that.
Yes.
During one of the conversations, so that's important.
As I said, overall, I'm really happy with it, and I'm just, I've got one of those phone plans where I could take my current phone and swap it over for a 7.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have a phone to pass down the chain of people who need a phone in the household.
That's the challenge, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hold on to it and pay it, get a new one next year, I think.
Yeah. Vodafone charge I think she said $149 when you're on that plan. So next year, after having a plan for 13 months, you pay them $149 at the moment, and then they'll give you the next phone.
Okay, well the one I've got, it's a swap over.
Yeah.
There's no additional pricing. It's just you hand your old phone in, as long as it's in good condition.
Yeah.
They'll give you the next one, and your contract starts again, obviously. So instead of being a year into your contract starts 2 years again. But I think I'll just pay off my contract and get a new one then, so I keep it.
So one other point I'd like to bring up regarding Mac OS Sierra.
Yes.
I updated on the weekend, and then when I tried to connect using Citrix, now I've got the name of the program now. Citrix, you use it every day, you don't care, do you?
VPN connectivity sort of.
Yeah, it's a Citrix product that we connect in. You have to go. I'd click on it. It would let me log in, but when I would try to do the next phase, which is connect to the remote apps or the remote desktop, it would say you need to connect. I've written it down. Anyway, you need to contact support because it's failed. So what you actually have to do is make sure you've got the current version, which is 12.2.0. Which was released August the 28th, I think, and that fixes the problem. So I hadn't updated the Citrix. Yeah, and that just makes it. It's to do with. They even said it's to do with a call in the Apple software, an API that they were told was going to be eliminated. And when Apple went to, and that's in the last version, they told that it's been depreciated and won't be used. And then when they moved to Sierra, they actually did remove it. So that's why it stopped working.
So they deprecated a call, and Citrix hadn't. Yeah, okay.
Hadn't quite caught up, but now they have, and it worked. It was only a matter of looking on the Citrix site to tell me what was wrong, as opposed to contacting.
Oh. I'm losing you now, but I think we've got all we need to get.
All right, that's it. So that's what you need to do. Thank you, team. If we're going, we're going.
I think the internet gods have started to strike, haven't they?
All right, no worries, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Garth.
Thank you, Michael, and thanks, guys, for listening. And anyone who's watched, good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.